For centuries, across civilizations carved from stone and legend, humanity grappled with a profound, terrifying enigma: afflictions of the mind. Conditions we now recognize as mental illness, they cast long shadows over every age. But what did the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, believe about madness? And how did their enigmatic shadow doctors attempt to cure it? Welcome to Echoes of Time, your portal to the forgotten pages of history, where we delve into the past to better understand the present. Today, we journey into a world shrouded in the sands of millennia, beyond the familiar realm of physical ailments, to unearth the fascinating, often terrifying, methods ancient Mesopotamia employed to confront the darkness within the human mind. In the sprawling cities nestled between the mighty Tigris and Euphrates, where colossal ziggurats pierced the endless sky, and the groundbreaking code of Hammurabi laid the very foundation of law and order, the human psyche was as intricate and mysterious then as it remains to this very day. This was a society of immense innovation and rigorous structure, yet one where the inner turmoil of the mind presented perhaps its most elusive challenge. Unlike the paradigm of modern medicine, which often seeks physiological and neurological explanations for mental distress, the Babylonian understanding of these deeply unsettling conditions was profoundly and inextricably intertwined with the pervasive forces of theology and the terrifying specter of demonology. In ancient Mesopotamia, sickness, particularly the agonizing grip of mental anguish, was not simply an unfortunate biological occurrence. Instead, it was frequently attributed to the wrath of divine punishment or the malevolent influence of unseen, insidious spirits that haunted the periphery of daily existence. This belief system colored every aspect of their approach to healing and deeply shaped the identity of those who dared to confront the unseen enemies of the mind. Our most tantalizing glimpses into this enigmatic world come from ancient cuneiform tablets, scattered fragments now preserved in the hushed halls of museums across the globe. These clay shards, etched with the wedge-shaped script of a long-lost era, whisper secrets of rituals, powerful incantations, and the judicious application of herbal remedies. They reveal the intricate practices employed by a specialized class of healers, individuals who operated at the very frontier of their society's understanding of sickness and spiritual threat. These practitioners were known as the āšipu, often translated as exorcists or magicians, and the āsu, who functioned as physicians. Their roles, though distinct, frequently overlapped in the treatment of mental afflictions, as the distinction between physical and spiritual sickness was often blurred, if not entirely absent, in the Babylonian worldview. These were not merely doctors in the modern sense. They were profoundly significant intermediaries, standing precariously on the fine line between the tangible physical world and the intangible, yet intensely real, spiritual dimension. Their formidable task involved battling unseen forces, forces believed to be capable of twisting the mind, stealing one's peace, and inflicting profound suffering. In a society where the spiritual realm was an ever-present and influential force, subtly guiding or brutally disrupting the rhythms of daily life, these healers were essential figures. They were the front-line defense against the insidious machinations of malevolent entities and the unpredictable wrath of offended deities. Their authority stemmed not just from their empirical knowledge, however rudimentary, but from their perceived ability to commune with, negotiate with, or command the very spiritual forces that governed existence. The true nature of these madness cures remains a topic of fierce debate among scholars today, as the answers are still largely shrouded in the sands of time, waiting to be fully unearthed. The fragmented evidence from cuneiform tablets allows for multiple interpretations, each shedding a different light on the complex interplay of belief, practice, and the human response to suffering in ancient Mesopotamia. One significant perspective argues that these ancient interventions were, in essence, rudimentary forms of psychotherapy. Proponents of this theory suggest that the sheer power of suggestion, woven into elaborate ritualistic practices, provided profound comfort and a much-needed sense of control to the afflicted individuals. In a world where the unknown reigned supreme and mental distress was attributed to forces beyond human understanding, the structured, symbolic actions of a respected healer could offer immense psychological relief. This approach, they argue, shares kinship with early shamanistic practices found across diverse ancient cultures, where the shaman's performance, belief in their power, and the shared communal experience of ritual often served to alleviate psychological distress, restoring a sense of balance and security. The patient, by participating in these rituals, by witnessing the healer's battle against the unseen, might have felt acknowledged, understood, and ultimately offered hope in the face of an otherwise incomprehensible affliction. The ritual itself, the repetitive incantations, the communal focus, could induce a state of altered consciousness, a powerful placebo effect, or simply provide a structured framework for expressing and processing immense suffering. This perspective emphasizes the psychological benefit derived from the experience of healing, regardless of its immediate physiological impact. However, a contrasting view contends that these madness cures were almost entirely spiritual interventions. This school of thought emphasizes the profound religious and demonological beliefs that underpinned Babylonian society. Scholars adhering to this perspective suggest that the focus was primarily on appeasing angry deities, or, more dramatically, expelling malevolent demons believed to be inhabiting or afflicting the individual. The elaborate rites described in the cuneiform tablets, therefore, were seen as purely spiritual battles, intricate performances designed to manipulate supernatural forces. According to this view, there was very little, if any, understanding of physiological causes for mental distress. The illness was fundamentally a spiritual problem, requiring a spiritual solution. The incantations were direct commands or pleas to supernatural entities. The rituals were symbolic acts of purification or expulsion, and the herbal remedies, if used, might have been viewed as a means to make the body less hospitable to demons or to enhance the spiritual receptivity of the patient, rather than having any direct pharmacological effect on the brain. This perspective underscores the absolute primacy of the spiritual realm in ancient Mesopotamian thought, where the physical manifestation of illness was merely a symptom of a deeper, unseen spiritual malady. The efficacy of the cure, therefore, hinged entirely on the successful manipulation or appeasement of these powerful, often vengeful entities. A third, more nuanced perspective suggests a pragmatic blend of the two. This argument posits that while deeply rooted in religious dogma and spiritual beliefs, these ancient healing practices also incorporated nascent forms of empirical observation. The āšipu, in particular, might have observed the tangible effects of certain herbal properties, accumulating practical knowledge about plants that could induce calm, stimulate, or purge. This rudimentary physiological understanding, however incomplete, would then be seamlessly integrated into the overarching spiritual framework. Thus, a potent herbal concoction might be administered, not purely for its chemical effects, but as part of an elaborate ritual to expel a demon, with the physical symptoms alleviated by the herb then attributed to the successful spiritual intervention. Similarly, psychological insight, however rudimentary, might have been cloaked in the language and practices of religion. The healers might have intuitively understood the power of reassurance, communal support, and the psychological impact of structured ritual, even if they articulated these effects through the lens of divine favor or demonic expulsion. This blended approach suggests that Babylonian shadow doctors were neither purely spiritualists nor empirical scientists as we understand them today, but rather complex figures who utilized every available tool, spiritual, psychological, and proto-scientific, to address the profound suffering of the human mind, all within the inescapable framework of their deeply religious world. These debates highlight the enduring mystery that surrounds Babylon's shadow doctors. Were they truly healers in a sense we might recognize, even if through a distant mirror? Or were they primarily performers of complex theatrics designed merely to reassure a superstitious populace? The answer, perhaps, lies somewhere within the spectrum of these interpretations. Or perhaps it eludes our modern understanding entirely, buried deep beneath the dust of ages. What is clear is that they dedicated themselves to a task no less profound than confronting the deepest fears and most debilitating afflictions of their time, operating within a framework utterly alien to our own. Echoes of time peels back the layers of millennia. We continue to unravel the fascinating, often terrifying methods ancient Mesopotamia employed to confront the darkness within the human mind. Their efforts, however distant and shrouded in mystery, offer a compelling echo of humanity's perennial struggle with mental illness and our ceaseless quest for healing and understanding. It reminds us that long before the dawn of modern psychology or neurology, our ancestors were grappling with the very same profound questions about the nature of the mind and its fragility. Their shadow doctors, navigating a world where the spiritual and the physical were one, faced an enormous challenge. Their understanding, their tools, and their beliefs may seem foreign to us, but their fundamental mission, to bring light to the darkness within, resonates powerfully across the ages. Can we ever truly comprehend the full experience of their healing practices? Or will the full truth of Babylon's shadow doctors forever remain an echo just beyond our grasp?